Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the weekly wave. I hope everybody made it in safely this morning. I don't know how it is across the state, but in Oklahoma City, it was kind of tricky, but we'll go ahead and get started. I don't have a lot of new stuff this week, so it should be fairly a quick meeting. So I'm going to review accountability reporting again as far as your chronic absenteeism medical exemption window. It's open now and it won't close until June 30th. There is training that's being provided through the Office of Accountability throughout the year, and when I get notification that the training is going on, I will post it on our presentation. When dealing with the chronic absenteeism, you need to have three components at your district. You'll need a local exemption committee who actually meets to approve or deny requests for absences to be medically exempt based upon a local board policy and supporting documentation. You'll need a site user, which they use the chronic absentee is a medical exemption window to process and submit requests and upload the committee's approved absences and documentation for each student. And then you'll need a district admin user, which they're going to review the request and supporting documentation for each student's medically exempted absences to approve or deny the request. Keep in mind your admin user and your site user must be a different person. So you can't have the same people that are actually doing that function. So also in accountability reporting, just put this out there. If you have students, since the window for dropouts is closed, but if you have students that left your district this school year prior to October 1st, and you use the wrong exit code, which might have created a dropout, you can go in and make necessary corrections in your student information system to that exit code since we're in the current year. So this would include any student that might have done an out-of-state transfer, homeschooling, private schools, or and you find out or get a records request from a district that they went to. You can go in and make corrections to those exit codes now during the current year. So if you get those, please don't hesitate to make those changes. So it's not going to show up as a dropout on next year's report. We're still reviewing post-secondary coursework credit. So now's the time to check to see if your reporting application or the accountability reporting application to ensure that you're posting correctly, that you get the post-secondary credit. Also go in and check your conflicts tab and the school data conflict. There are some instructional level conflicts that I've been seeing that need to be resolved on your end. So it could be that you put a class under general and it needs to be under college, or it might need to be under career tech. So you'll need to make those changes in your SIS as well, because you don't want to miss an opportunity to get that post-secondary credit. If for some reason you just are not seeing it, and I want to make sure you understand, check it now to make sure it's set up correctly. You won't see that you get post-secondary credit on two different items. You won't see it on your career tech, which a lot of times it's going to show up as accepted as a high school equivalent, or you're not going to see it on your AP classes, because both of those items require two semester grades in order to get that credit. So it will show whether it's a post-secondary course though. Now on your college level courses and your internships, if you got them entered correctly, you will see that you've got post-secondary credit for this first semester, because if your grades are in there. Megan, you're asking how often is the post-secondary data pulled? We pull the data Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. However, the application only updates it once a week, and that's on the weekends. So if you make a change during the week, you'll have to wait till the following week to see if it's updated in the application. If you've got any questions about your coursework, please feel free to reach out to myself at nancy.flores@sde.ok.gov, or you can contact June Jared at june.jared@sde.ok.gov. We'd be more than happy to set up a time where we can go through that application and see if we can identify things that need to be corrected in order for those credits to come through. So any other reporting windows that are open through accountability will be announced through your Gov delivery, that the notifications that come out through accountability at sde.ok.gov, or you can email them with questions as well. Thanks, Jennifer, and thank you, Megan. So does anybody have any questions about accountability reporting? And if you do, please unmute yourself. We'd love to hear your voices. Okay, I am going to move on to counseling. So the graduation part-time enrollment report Q2, the due date changed to February 10th. So you have a day. If you haven't started that, I would definitely take a look at that and make sure you've got that due date met. So wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Okay, moving on to PEBT. So as everyone knows, the DVR has been closed. You can't do any new DVRs, and we're currently processing the ones that are still pending. And once we get those complete, then we'll send the file to DHS. So I appreciate everyone who submitted those for corrections, and we'll get those sent to DHS fairly soon. I think we should be done sometime the end of this week. Does anybody have any questions about PEBT? I know that once these have been submitted, then we'll begin fairly soon to start the 2022 or 21-22 school year. Okay, I'm going to move on to changing student information vendors. So we have heard from a few districts that are changing vendors for 23-24. If your district is looking at changing SIS vendors, please let us know. There are things that we need to make sure that the new vendor carries over, so you're not inconvenienced with having to resolve every state testing number in your district. So if you are changing vendors, send an email to studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov and let us know who you currently have and who you're moving to. Okay, and always, if you have any questions, you can email us at studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov. Or if you need any reference documentation or materials, you can always locate that on the SDE website, and it's under resources. You go to a resource tab, it's under student information, documents and guides. So everyone, that's all I have for this week. As I said, it was going to be a fairly short meeting. If anybody has any questions and wants to unmute or put it in the chat, I'd be glad to hang on for a bit and see if I can answer those.
Nancy?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Lori in State Aid.
Okay.
Our office has started looking at this annual statistical report. I know it's February. But we're looking at the calendars, and we are sending emails out to the districts that we are seeing that aren't meeting the 165 days, that are not reporting professional development or parent teacher days, and not reporting any transportation. So your superintendent will get a email from us, and then they probably will forward it to someone in the district. So just get those corrected. And this is probably a good time to go in and get your calendars fixed for your snow days from whenever that was last week. And because calendars are the most important thing. I mean, if your calendars are wrong, all your other data is going to be wrong too. So just start working that. And whenever we send out an email, it's not like, hey, you know, we're just trying to get ahead and to make it an easier flow for this end of the year.
Thank you for that, Lori. Also, I want to mention, and I don't know everyone's student information system, but if you're a campus user, you're going to have to go in to some area in their system, and you're going to have to switch it from the FQSR to the ASR so it reports correctly. And if we've got a campus user on that knows how to do that, I would love for you to explain that to our other users.
Nancy, I have a quick question on the alt ed kids. Should it be populating the days of membership already in the alt ed tab? Because mine all say 0. Some say 0, actually.
On
Some
the,
are populating
on the ASR?
Yes.
Lori, do you know?
I would think it should be if you have them coded correctly. It's probably going to be a matter of just message me and send me some STNs and I can go look at it and I can go, if I need help, I can go up to someone. I can get help. I can look and see what's going on with it.
Okay, sounds good. And then also, Mitzi, while I have you here, you sent me that email, or you sent Mr. Solomon the email. I had updated my calendar because I did have one school that was wrong, but when does that populate? Because I checked it this morning and it's still showing the wrong days for the school I corrected.
If you did it, so what happens is, I mean, you're supposed to send event change events. The vendor is supposed to send the change events, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So whenever a request is done for the calendar, which is done every day, it should update so it's done at 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you made something yesterday, we would have requested this morning. So it should update tonight. If it doesn't update tonight, then there's a trickle effect. If it doesn't update tonight, we can always go in and delete your calendar data and re-request it. And that usually fixes it, but that's kind of the last resort for us. So,
okay, perfect. If it doesn't, I'll email you
look in the
tomorrow.
morning. If not, let us know and we'll put Mitzi can put it out there or whoever. I'm Lori, by the way.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, after I heard your voice, I recognized it.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you, ladies.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody have anything else?
I have a question about the graduation data verification. I've got a student that went to Epic and he's showing up on this. But there's no way for me. I mean, the little DVR button's not next to his name so that I can submit this. So what happens when you can't create a DVR?
Okay, and who am I talking to?
Teresa at Fairview Schools.
Okay, Teresa, I don't think anybody's on from accountability. So let me check with them and I will call you back.
Okay, all right, thank you. And then I had a question. If it says inactive next to their name, what that means, I guess.
Okay, I've got that too. All right, I will check and I will let you know.
Thank you.
Kelly put in the chat where you would go to change it to the ASR. So thank you, Kelly, for that.
You bet. If anybody has any trouble, they can reach out to me.
Thanks, Kelly. And Megan, you've got the same issues on the DVRs. Okay, what school are you with, Megan?
My Zoom is freezing. Oklahoma Virtual Charter Academy.
Okay, I will get back with you on the same thing. Same questions. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. If there's no other questions, here we got another one. Do we record the PT conferences, parent-teacher conferences, if they're after school? Lori?
So what you'll do is, so if you have a parent teacher the same day as you have an instructional day, you will pick the next available weekday that you're out of school to code that as a PT day. So usually what happens is in like the fall, like your fall, you would just pick your fall break usually. Your next day and just code that as PT.
Thanks, Lori. Okay, anybody have anything else? Does it have to be the very next day that we record the parent-teacher conference?
No, it doesn't. We just need, I mean, it's just get as close to it as you possibly can. I'm not gonna be picky about it.
Okay. Guys, I really appreciate everyone for joining. I know it takes time out of everyone's busy schedules, but we just want to make sure that you know what's going on when it's going on. So always, if you have questions, you can email us, or if you got any more, give it to us now. And if not, we're going to go ahead and let y'all get off the phone. And I hope you have a great day and the rest of your week and weekend. So we will talk again next week. Thanks, Kelly. Thank you, Carolyn, Mona, everyone.